you?
Doing great.
Hey, look, you got off that field just in time. It's getting ready to get ugly out there.
Is it? Well, I'm glad I got home. Came home just for you. Hey, look, I'd like to ask you, since we're getting Tyrod Taylor for the first time, we talked to you about him last week, but you've had another several OTAs to watch him some more. Is he where you want him to be, considering his experience and his knowledge of the system? Is he doing everything that he should be doing right now to be your guy?
Yes, he is, John. And the thing about him is he's been in all of the Zoom meetings. So it's not like he doesn't know where we're at or what we're doing at this point, been in OTAs. He's been in all the meetings. It's just recently we just got him on the field. And you can tell by what we've seen on the field, John, that he's been listening. He's been picking up the offense. And this time of year, what we're trying to do here is with all of those guys at that position and along with these other positions is just to learn what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I feel like from what we've seen out there the last few days that he is right where we feel like he should be.
David, how much of his advantage is it for him you have coached him in Buffalo and Pep Hamilton to have coached him last season?
There's a comfort level there. He knows what we're all about. He knows how we go about things. He knows what we expect. And that's important, John, because he has a comfort level with us and we have a comfort level with him. And with what Tim has done is when installing this offense with him, he's picked up stuff very well. Here's a guy that's been in the league for a long time. And basically it's just a matter of terminology, which he's picked up well.
Aaron Reese.
Hey, David, past couple of places that Tyrod has been a quarterback in Los Angeles or with Cleveland, he had rookies behind him and eventually gave the job over to them. What sort of asset can he be to Davis in terms of just getting him kind of accustomed to the league and stuff?
His leadership and his experience in the league is invaluable. It's invaluable for not only just those guys at the quarterback position, but just for the guys on this football team in general. He's been there and done that, and he knows what winning looks like. He knows what winning is supposed to be like. He knows the process that you have to go through, and that's what he brings to not only that room, but to this football team.
In the year you overlapped with him in Buffalo, you guys, the Bills benched him for a game. What did you just learn about him during that season and working with him and going through that process with him? That
he's a professional through and through. Didn't like it. No one would have, but he handled it like a pro supposed to handle, like a guy with class would handle things. And then basically the very next week, he was back in the lineup and was able to help lead us to the playoffs because of that. And that just goes to show the professionalism he has and the experience that he's been around. And it worked out for everybody involved.
Sarah.
David, when you guys signed Tyrod, Deshaun had already asked for a trade, but the first lawsuit hadn't been filed. What was it about Tyrod that made you think that it was a good situation, your situation that the team was in was a good situation for him to be your quarterback?
Well, we didn't have but one quarterback on the roster at that time signed. So we were going to go out and Nick and his staff went out and we were going to sign some more guys to the roster that we needed to have. And Tyrod was available. He had some other places to go. He chose here simply because he's familiar with Pep. He's familiar with me. He's familiar with what we're all about, and it's fit in just perfectly for us.
Brandon.
Hey, Coach Culley, how would you
Yes.
assess? Hey, how would you assess the way the quarterbacks and receivers are gelling around this time? I know that, without you guys being in pads, this is one of the opportunities to really kind of evaluate them and get them gelling. How would you say the receivers and quarterbacks are, and the timing and all of that is measured in?
It's coming around, and that's why these practices have been important. You only get that by doing it, and you only get the timing and whatnot with having the guys work with each other. Not only are they working it during the practice, they're working it after practice just because of getting a feel. This is all new to everybody. The offense is new. A bunch of players are new. And basically what's ended up happening right now is that they're getting the extra work. They're getting the work that we need because they know that's the only way to get it. And that's the only way to get the timing down. It's the only way to get where people know each other and get a good feel for each other. And they've done a good job of doing that.
You mentioned the last time we talked about the offensive coaches that y'all have brought in, just and bringing them together with Tim Kelly, just trying to build on what was already here and what he already had. What are some of the things that y'all were trying to get better schematically?
Well, obviously, this was a football team last year offensively that threw the ball very well. And basically, we wanted to be able to this year kind of balance that out a little bit. And basically, we've brought in some guys on this staff that have been a part of franchises that have had that balance. These coaches have been through everything that you could possibly go through in this league as far as what people do offensively. And I think the ideals that they've brought in to help Tim and this offensive staff and get new ideas have really gelled very well.
Brian Smith.
David, you mentioned Tyrod's experience, being a veteran. I mean, he's been through some things that in a lot of ways you can only go through in the NFL. I mean, he's been a part of a Super Bowl winner. He's had a crazy injury that prevented them from basically being a starter last year. What about him and his career appeals to you and this team so much in terms of his experience translating to him being able to potentially lead this team this season?
I can remember when he came out of Virginia Tech. One of the things about him at Virginia Tech was, he was a flat out leader. He played in some ball games. I think, if I remember correctly, played in the Orange Bowl with Darius, I think his last year there. And he's a guy, he's been in some very close ball games. He's been in ball games where he's had to, as a quarterback, put the team in position to win ball games. He's done those things. And the thing that about him, with you talk about all the crazy stuff that he's been through, is he has such great character. And that's one of the things that when Nick started going out and bringing in free agents and with our draft, that's first and foremost when what we want to build here. And he's the embodiment of that. And basically his teammates know that. His teammates know what he's been through. They know how he's come through it. And to go through what he went through in Buffalo and to help lead a football team to the playoffs that hadn't been in 17 years speaks the volumes about what he's all about.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, David.
Hey, Aaron.
How you doing? One thing for the NFL this year is the league and the teams emphasizing vaccination. How is that going as far as educating the guys? And do you feel like you're getting a high level of that? Obviously, it's voluntary and everyone can make their own choices, but how's that going so far, that process?
Well, it's been going well. Like you said, it's a personal choice that they've made. And it's always going to be a personal choice. And we respect that personal choice. There is no mandate that you have to have it. And so basically we leave it up to them on their personal choice to be able to do it or not to do it. And if they choose not to do it, so be it.
When you look at the veterans you have, as far as the defensive line, some of the guys that you have like Omenahu and some newcomers like Malik Collins, how do you feel like the defensive line's coming together?
Well, the experience that you just mentioned there with the guys that have come from other places mixed in with the guys that we have here. And again, I'm going to go back to what we said we wanted to create when we first came here. And with these free agents and with our draft picks is competition. And Aaron, what happens is competition makes people better. And good players want to be better. And the quickest way and the best way to get that is with competition. And we've created that here, not only at that position, but at all positions. Because this time of year, it's not really about evaluation so much as it is about learning the system, learning about what our culture is, establishing what our culture is. And quite frankly, we don't have what we call starters. Everybody works with everybody here. Everybody works with every group, and that's how you create that. So there's no feeling that this is his job or that's his job. The feeling is it's everybody's job. Whoever the best person is for that particular position, that's going to be their job. And in the fall, when we start training camp, that'll all come together.
Matt Musel.
David, you're known as an offensive coach, but obviously as a head coach, you're interested in all parts of your team. I saw you moving all around the fields today, defense, offense. Is there one position group that's ahead of the other at this point?
I think they're all progressing at this time the way we want them to progress. And that's why I move around, and that's why I go. I also go around too to learn a little bit more about. I've been on one side the whole time. Now I kind of get to see exactly. Now I know exactly why they're doing what they're on defense. As offensive coaches, a lot of times we always thought we had all the answers. And basically you realize when you go to the defensive side of the ball, the answer we thought was really wrong. And now that I've been on the other side over there, I get it now. I would have been a better offensive coach had I known exactly what was going on that other side right now.
How about your young tight end, Brevin Jordan? I didn't see him in uniform. Does he have an injury, or what's his status?
Well, he's fine. Again, things happen, and things happen with guys, and basically sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not here for various reasons. Again, it is voluntary. And basically what we do is we coach the guys that are out there when they're not here. We just make sure that everything is all right. And usually when there is, then we just go on and we coach the guys that are there.
John.
David, since you've been on the other side of the ball, when you've watched Lovey and Miles Smith now for a while, when you see them behind the scenes and on the field, how are they similar and how are they different?
Well, first of all, the only thing that's similar about them, John, is that they have the same last name. Lovey is Lovey and Miles is Miles. I wouldn't even know that if I didn't already know the situation that they are related. They're different type of coaches. They're different people. Miles has his way of doing things. Lovey has his way. And obviously Lovey's been doing it for a long time. Miles is establishing his own way, and it's not Lovey's way. It's his way. And basically what I see out there, I just see him coaching the way he feels like he needs to coach.
Two more, Brandon.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask you real quick about the Rex Burkhead signing. What do you feel like he offers to the team and to the competition at the running back position? And was there anything about the running back competition that you guys felt that you needed to go out and make another move?
Well, Brandon, that same competition is all over the field here. Now, what happened is Rex has been a good football player during his career. And basically when there's good football players out there and you have a chance to be able to bring them to be a part of what you're doing and what you're trying to build, you do that. And obviously Nick had some background with him. We all know what he's been in this league, and we had an opportunity to get him to add to the mix, and we added him to the mix. And I'm happy to have him here with us and to get right in the mix of what we're doing with the competition at that position also.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about your punter, Cam Johnston. We saw some good hang time from him. What have you seen from him? What kind of motivated you guys to sign him and add him to actually, I think, probably one of your longer contracts where he did a 3-year deal where a lot of guys are on 1 or 2 year deals?
Well, he's a young punter that's been in the league a few years, that his upside is really, really good. He has a very strong leg. Frank and Sean studied him along with others throughout this process. And when he was available and we were able to have a chance to talk to him and have a chance to add him to the mix, we feel like we've added a guy with a lot of upside that would fit right in well here. And we're so happy to have him here because just like what you said, you see him out there, he can put that thing up there pretty good.
Thanks, Coach.
Welcome. Appreciate it.
That glad we got the pronunciation right too ahead of time.
Yeah, you good.
So tell us about, I think I saw an interview with you, maybe with your hometown, kind of comparing Houston and the feel of Texas, I guess, to Hawaii. Could you explain what your fascination is with Houston and why the Texans?
I mean, I love it out here, man. It's funny because I told my agent when I was a young player, I was like, if I ever get a chance to play for a Texas team, I'll take it. I don't know. It's just, the hospitality around here and just the love that I feel from the people. It's definitely very similar to back home. So, I mean, I'm loving it back here.
And then as far as what you offer on the field, what do you think you can bring as far as, schematically being in Lovie Smith's defense? I know all the linebackers have talked up Lovie Smith and the opportunity to play in this defense. How do you view that?
I mean, it's a great honor for me. I love, I'm already in love with his scheme, already in love with, the way he coaches and the way he, like his philosophy. And I think me personally, I think I fit perfectly into it. He likes speed guys. I can run and play the pass and do all that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited for the future.
John.
Kamu, would you describe Lovey's style of coaching when he's dealing with you guys, and how does that compare to Miles? Do you see some of Lovey and Miles?
I mean, it's hard not to see Miles in Lovey and Miles, but I think they're a little different. They definitely have their own coaching styles. Coach Lovey's a legend, he's been doing this a long time. So he has his own way, and you can see that Miles is definitely trying to do his own style too. So, but it works. And, we got a great camaraderie in our room right now. The linebackers are real tight already, and I like where we're going.
Ryan.
I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out if you've played Tyrod Taylor before. I'm not sure if you have, but I'm just wondering, from your perspective, watching him across the league since you've been in the league, what's been your perspective of him? And now that you've been around him, what have you already been able to kind of pick up from him, learn from him in terms of him being a quarterback and most importantly, a leader for this team?
Yeah, it's actually funny because I think I played him maybe a couple of times only in preseason. But, just even seeing what happened to him kind of last year was heartbreaking, around the league, just the situation he was kind of in. But coming here and meeting him, I'm already kind of joking around with him and stuff, and he's a great guy. Seems like a great leader, and I'm excited to share a locker room with him.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Kamu, when you look at the kind of special teams you guys are building and the sub package on defense, how do you see that shaping up and kind of where you feel you fit in with that?
Yeah, I mean, we got some killers on special teams over here for sure. Talking about sub package, even stuff on defense is, we got guys that can run, and we got guys that are hungry and that can play the ball. So I'm definitely excited for that. And
having worked for Nick Cassera before when he was in New England, being under Bill Belichick and then being with Brian Flores, how much do you feel like this just kind of the systems and the standard, kind of what's expected and the tenor that those guys have set? Every building's different, but just you feel like you bring some of that here because of the standard that you've had to have in your last two spots?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Is it, a Patriot connection? I truthfully think, God has really had his hand and his grace over my entire life. And, I've been fortunate to play in this league for a while now. And honestly, that's just kind of just how the league works. You see familiar faces. I have guys on this team that I played in Philly with. There's all kinds of different connections, Miami. So I think that's just really how the league works. But I think I'm very happy with how things are being ran here and the way things are, going. I know that, last year, there was a different perception of that, but, coming in this year, I think I speak for a lot of guys saying that we love the culture and we love, just kind of the leadership and the way things are being ran here.
John.
Kamu, you're coming in with you're one of 8 new linebackers. What has that transition been like for you guys? What does it do for the competition? And how long did it take you to adjust to all your new teammates?
It's funny because, a lot of these guys, all of us, we're all kind of vets already. We've been playing around the league for a while. So we've either played against each other or know each other some way or some form. So it didn't actually take too long, first couple of weeks, we're already, going to barbecues at people's houses or doing all that kind of stuff. So the competition is gonna be great. We got some ballers in that room for sure. And but that's just how the league works, man. So it's no sweat off anyone's back.
Brandon.
just with your experience being on the Super Bowl team, having played for the Patriots, at what point, whether it's in the offseason or during the season, at what point do you get a sense for what a team is capable of? And are you anywhere near that point now with this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing for me is just team camaraderie. And in my past, the most successful teams have been, I mean, I'll go take it back even to college, just the teams that win, they really mess with each other and they have that really tight camaraderie and they're hanging out with each other outside of the building and they just holding each other, even, us, I hate bringing up the past, but in Philly, we had a big, Bible study that, we just kept each other accountable on different levels. And I actually see that here. We're already talking with some guys and just holding each other accountable on so many different levels. And I think that's truthfully what can bring a winning culture.
Then one more thing. We had Justin Reed on with us a few weeks ago, the safety Justin Reed telling us about one thing that he likes more going into this season, or something that he's looking forward to, is the coverage is being a little bit tighter. And I just wanted to know, just as one of the faster linebackers, how do you figure that you'll factor into that, and how will the linebackers as a whole factor into helping the coverage scheme?
Having tighter coverage in like the pass game? Yes. Well, I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You got faster guys, you get tighter coverage. And, our D-line is great right now. We brought in a bunch of DBs that look like they can strap up. So I'm excited. That's the only really phrase I can say right now, is that I'm excited for all of it.
Aaron Wilson, last one.
Hey, Kamu, with the vaccination that the league is encouraging, what do you think? How's that going so far? And do most of the guys like yourself, do you go ahead and go through with that already, or and just how much do you feel like that helps things in terms of rules in the building and not having to be tested and all of those things that go with once you are fully vaccinated? Thank you.
I think, obviously they're making the rules a lot easier for people who are vaccinated, rightfully so. But, I think it's personal choice. There's so many different opinions on it, and so many, people got families, people don't have families, people have sick family members. So it's like, that's a loaded question, because I think it's a very, very personal choice. And if you want it, I think they're doing a great job of making it accessible to everyone who wants it. And if you don't want it, it's, just stay with the normal rules that we've already kind of established. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Time we've had been on with you, can you kind of update us on, why you came to the Texans, what it's like working with Culley and Hamilton again, what you think about the system, please?
Yes, I just thought it was the right fit for me. Like I said, familiar faces, working with Coach Culley, being with Coach Camp, and as well as Pep, and just looking at the roster. Of course, there's talent across the board on both sides of the ball, but I've always have watched the Texans from afar, of course, and played against them. Been on teams that I've played against them the last couple of years and throughout my years in the league, and just thought it would be a good fit for me to come contribute to the team in any way.
Mark Berman.
Tyrod, what do you think of the opportunity that you have here and the responsibility that goes with it?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to go out and lead. Of course, go make plays. It's definitely last year didn't go the way that I would want it to, but those are out of my control. But it's an opportunity for me to be able to rebound and still play at a high level, which I know I can do. I'm excited to play with the talent that we have on the offensive side of the ball. Excited to line up and go against the defensive training camp and watch those guys fly around the ball during the season. And more importantly, just excited to get out there and play. like I said, last year was tough to process for a little bit, but it's the reality of our game. You have to take the punches and continue to keep rolling. And I'm more grateful than ever, and just excited for the opportunity.
Sarah?
Tyrod, when you signed with the Texans, what was the understanding about like that you'd be the starting quarterback or that you're competing for that job? But what did you think coming in here?
Honestly, was not for sure about that, and just knew that it was an opportunity for me to be able to showcase what I could do. Since I came into the league, I've always treated the job, and I think every quarterback should approach it this way, is just to prepare as a starter, because at our position, you're one play away, and you never know when that opportunity will come. So regardless of how the roster looks, you have to come in and prepare as a starter each and every day. And that gives yourself the best chance to go out and be successful, but it also gives your team the best chance to be successful throughout the year.
Aaron Reese?
Hey, Tyrod, what's unique about being the quarterback and leading a team when you're new to the team and so many of the guys are new to the team and so many guys are on one-year deals? It's kind of a unique makeup of this roster.
Yeah, when I signed, we all came in. I want to say it was about 20 of us. We were at the hotel, and some guys I've known, some guys I played with. I think the exciting thing about it is that guys want a fresh start. Guys want to be able to come in, compete. Guys want to be able to show what they can do, myself included. And ultimately, you want to win games. And we know that, of course, the guys in the room that day, along with the remaining guys that are on the roster that have been here for previous years, we want to come together and do whatever it takes to help win games and have fun on the football field. And I think that's the motivating factor each and every day. Of course, winning games, but knowing that guys come from different places and have an opportunity for a fresh start is exciting for us to come out and compete each and every day.
Christy?
I'm sure that you've always been very motivated and had a hunger to do well, but after what happened last year, is there any extra, I don't know, something like a chip on your shoulder or anything to just come back and be able to kind of put that behind you and be able to be a starter again?
For sure. I'll definitely use it as motivation. It's nothing, there's no bad feeling towards like whatever happened in the past. You learn from it, you move forward. I don't believe in holding on to things. Just, like I said, more so thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be able to lace the cleats up, put the helmet on, and go out and make plays. And it starts, of course, this time of year, and then we'll carry on to the season. But yes, definitely more motivated than I ever been. And like I said, just thankful for the opportunity.
Brian?
Tyrod, you've had a very, and I don't know how you would describe it. I mean, that's the question, but you've had a very interesting, unique career going back to Baltimore and honestly, I mean, Virginia Tech and how it went for you there as well. How would you describe your football career from your perspective? And the second part is, what's kept you always believing in yourself to where you now have an opportunity to be a week one starting quarterback for this team?
To explain it, it's been a blessing. Like I said, I think that I've used everything that has happened to me throughout my college career, professional career, and I think that those experiences have prepared me for the opportunity that I have now, which allows me to go out each and every day at peace mentally, but to compete and have a smile on my face. It's you learn from those experiences, you move forward, and you stay in a positive attitude. And I think that's it's kept me with the right mindset to be able to persevere through the things that have happened to me throughout my career. It hasn't been, all great. It hasn't been bad. I don't know like how you would describe it. I know that when it comes to the NFL, I've been a winner in this league. Yes, I've had trials and tribulations, but it's part of the game. And like I said, I'm now just thankful for the opportunity to be able to lead the guys that we have in the locker room, to be able to work with Coach Culley, and see Coach Lovey do his thing on the defensive side as well too.
Brandon?
Hey, Tyrod, I don't want to belabor this, but I just have never heard you quite address this exactly. Because I'm curious, why didn't you decide to file a grievance? Like, how did you how did you come to be at peace exactly? I know what happened to you was an accident, but how did you come to the decision to not file a grievance? And was that an opportunity to you to have a sort of a larger conversation about player safety? And was there a point to be made about what happened to you?
Certain things I can't talk about. Let's just say that certain things I can't talk about. As far as the grievance, I didn't agree necessarily with the NFLPA and their what their grievance actually stood for. But and that's why I didn't choose to file the grievance through the NFLPA. But yeah, certain things I just can't elaborate on. Maybe at some point. Yeah, maybe at some point I can't elaborate on it though.
Let me ask you this then, something that you can't talk about, the offense. From your vantage point as a quarterback, how would you describe this offense? What is this offense going to look like?
This offense allows, for sure, the quarterback, myself, to get the ball out of hands fast. I mean, we're the general. We run the show. Everything runs through us. But more importantly, we have playmakers at the receiver position, tight end position, and as well at the running back position. And it's my job to get the ball to those guys. I think we have a lot of great concepts that allow those guys to play free and to get open and get the ball. So the more efficiently we do that, the better off we are on offense and as far as putting up points.
Matt.
How about a couple of the rookies? Brevin Jordan, we didn't see him out there today, but Nico Collins was, and I'd like your opinion on how those guys are coming around.
When we drafted those guys, I had a chance to look at basically their scout tape and was very impressed. Couldn't wait to see Nico and Brevin in person. And they've impressed me. The way they're picking up the system, the way they're going out and making plays is definitely impressed me. And I'm looking forward to working with those guys throughout the season and getting those guys plenty of balls to catch for sure.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Tyrod, good to see you.
You too.
Tyrod, we talked a lot about motivations and things you've learned, but as far as just your skill set and your playmaking ability, where do you feel like you've grown, and how would you if you were giving your own scouting report, how would you rate yourself, some of your things that you do well, some of your strengths of your game?
Of course, being able to extend plays is definitely something, a strength of mine. But I think just over the years, I've learned just more patience in the pocket, getting the ball out of my hands, understanding the game as a whole from the quarterback position, protections, being able to protect yourself, and just using the offense to benefit yourself in the passing game. I think there's something that I've learned. I'm healthy as I've ever been and excited to see what I can do in this offense, and looking forward to playing alongside a lot of the great talent that we have on the field.
Last one for you. With Joe Flacco, do you ever compare notes with Joe and sometimes talk about kind of your experiences, because you both have went from team to team and started out in this league in Baltimore? So do you and Joe ever talk? And what are those conversations like?
Me and Joe talk. It's never really been about to compare the things that we've endured, I guess. Of course, that was the first quarterback that I met in this league, and it was a lot. I learned a lot from him throughout my early years. So when we talk, it's more so just catching up. I will have to reach out to him. I know he's in Philly now with my old coordinator from the last 2 years. So just I'll pick his brain in this time that we have off. But yeah, I guess it would. That conversation should happen at some point, and it will naturally. But the last couple of times that I've seen Flacco, it's just been about catching up and just seeing how he's been and how's the family going.
John.
Tyrod, whoever the Texans signed to be the starting quarterback's going to be under a lot of pressure because Watson played great last season and is a great quarterback. But how will you approach that pressure? And also, what are your impressions of Davis Mills?
Yes, of course. As far as the pressure thing or the pressure question, I don't think anyone will put more pressure on myself than me. I have high expectations for myself. I hold myself to a certain standard. So coming out each and every day and performing at a high level is where the standard is. And of course, yes, Deshaun played at a very high level and has played at a very high level throughout his career. I've been a fan of his, and I know him personally. But the opportunity to be able to start here is something that I look forward to, and looking forward, like I said, just going out and competing with the guys that we have in our locker room, the great talent, Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Jordan Akins, David Johnson, Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram, all guys that I've admired from afar. Being able to be in the locker room with those guys and to go battle with those guys on Sundays is something that I'm looking forward to. And as far as Dave, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you about Mills.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job. Of course, all three quarterbacks, myself, Jeff Driscoll, and Davis, we're all learning the system for the first time. So I think each and every day, guys are doing a good job of just keeping the communication open and pushing each other on the field.
We'll take these last two. Aaron Reese.
Hey, Tyrod, kind of along those lines with Davis, just in your last two stops in LA and then in Cleveland, what did you learn just kind of about going about your business and being the starter, but also, trying to be a resource to a younger quarterback?
Of course, just be yourself. Go in each and every day, lead in your own way. I don't hide any information. If it's something that I could share with a younger guy, younger quarterback, with whatever position it is, then I share it. I've been big on focusing on myself. You can't necessarily worry about, when I say focus on myself, is you can't worry about outside factors. You have to each and every day bring your A game and your best self to the building and go out there and lead by example, and everything else will fall in line how it's supposed to.
Mark Berman.
Tyrod, at age 31, 10 years in, what does it mean to you to have this opportunity at this stage of your career?
It means everything to me, and that's why I'm excited the way that I am. What they say, the average NFL career is 3 years. And if you probably go back and look at my draft card, no one probably would have predicted that I would be one of the 4 quarterbacks that was drafted that year that are still in this league. And like I said, I'm excited about the opportunity. I know what I could do. I know what I've done in this league. And I know the players respect it and know what I can do. But each and every day, it's my job and it's my duty to be able to show them and to show the coaches. And when we get a chance to start playing against other teams, to show them as well.
Thanks. Great to get a chance to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.